but the mole or the vole makes holes. The cold weather is not for me. Pretty neat looking, but also creepy all at the same time. And I was like, I cannot be this bad at gardening. I'm a high energy person. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. So let's get comfy today and talk about everything that goes on my urban homestead. I don't even really know where to start. I grow in my backyard in Zone 7B in Virginia. I raise chickens. I also have quail. My problem is I have a vole or mole that goes under, and so the landscape fabric is covering it, but the mole or the vole makes holes. And so while the landscape fabric is great landscape fabric, no holes or anything like that, when there is a hole in the ground, the fabric goes down into it if it rains or gets muddy. Not a big deal for me. Oh, a hummingbird. That's one thing I absolutely love about having a garden. I love watching the hummingbirds. They're on the zinnias right now, which is why there's not more than one. There's just one. Which is why I'm having a hard time pulling the zinnias out, because that's where I see them at all the time. And with it about to be getting cold, I want to be able to see them like as much as I can until it gets cold. The cold weather is not for me. It's just not. And I still do fall garden, even though it's not for me. I never, ever, ever can grow a squash. I never can grow a squash because of the vine borers, and people have told me, you know, put some, I think Reynolds wrap around the bottom, just a lot of things. I have not tried any of them. I just want nature to do what nature does. Like for instance, hornworms. If you are a grower, if you are not, you want to look those up. Pretty neat looking, but also creepy all at the same time. I don't really do anything for hornworms. I may pick them. The hornworms I give to the chickens. It's a wonderful little treat for them. But if I do not get them, in most cases, the wasps are going to come and they're going to lay their eggs, and they are going to naturally take care of the hornworm for me. And so with that being said, I just don't do a lot over here for pests. I do not give them antibiotics or anything like that. So if you have questions about that, I would not know, because I don't do that. They just live out here together. I have recently been fighting vent gleat. We had 3. We now have 2 that still have vent gleat, but we're still working on that with them. Mary's medicinal. Mary's heirloom. I like her for medicinal herbs. I'm pretty sure that's where I got a lot of my medicinal herbs from. And then strictly medicinal herbs. Strictly medicinal seeds, I think is what it's called. I really like getting my medicinals from over there. I am learning more about medicinals, and now with the extra time that I have, I will absolutely be doing more, you know, medicinal things. My first year gardening was an awful year gardening, and I used transplant. And I was like, I cannot be this bad at gardening. I honestly was not a vegetable eater. So how did I even start gardening if I don't like vegetables? My daughter. My daughter loves vegetables. She loves fruit. And when, you know, everything happened in 2020, I was like, I need something to do. I cannot stay in the house. I'm sure y'all can tell. I'm a high energy person. And so for us to have something to do, it started out as me doing it with her, and now it is like a passion of mine. I absolutely love gardening now. And so she's even like, you made our whole backyard a garden. I did. Seed starting is not scary. If you are a new gardener, it is not scary. And then if you have leggy seedlings, I'll link to that video. That doesn't have to be the end of your seedlings, and you have not failed. There are ways to save leggy seedlings as well. And so people do ask me, like, how did I design my garden? I really didn't design my garden. I do like things to be level, if that makes sense. So as I was adding, I was saying, okay, would this be level? Will that be level? So for instance, I have 2 no-dig beds here on the side. But then I have 2 types of beds also going up. It's hard for me to explain. I could absolutely have plants over here, and I did have plants over here, right? But I have always wanted seating in my garden. Yida Home gifted me with this seating. I cannot tell you how much I am enjoying having this seating, because I know I didn't come out and actually sit in my garden and just take in the garden, right? I came out here and I worked and I stood and I looked, and maybe that, you know, I use my home and garden trend stool, which I absolutely love, and it's really good for working in the garden. It's like one of my favorite garden tools, right? But then there is having a space where you can relax. You're not sitting straight up, and you are just out and you're relaxing and you're looking over your garden. That's how I noticed the things that I could move and where I could place them. I was sitting right here in this bistro set, and that's how I noticed all the things. So it's very important to have a seating area in your garden or close to your garden, in my opinion. I can't tell anyone to do it, but I think that it's like a great thing to have for you to come and relax, to actually enjoy the garden, where you're not only working, but you also are enjoying, you know, what you've grown, being able to look at it. And I love like a full trellis, and the trellis is right behind me, well, in front of me, behind you, and I can look at that with all the things hanging off of it. My cuckoozy gourds are growing. At a point before my cucumber plants died, I had cucumbers just kind of hanging. And so I would say, if you can have a seating area, absolutely make sure you put somewhere that you can go and you can rest and just like relax in your garden. I also have a seating area over in the greenhouse. And so like when I'm in there and I'm working and I'm starting seeds or I'm doing something in there, I have a seating area. Sometimes I go out there and I just watch TV. See, I'm sitting here and looking around. This is not a planned video. Also, wow, I'm jumping everywhere. But also, I'm able to see, my dog is on a roll, but I'm able to just sit here and look around and tell you about all of the things, because I can actually observe it. I can take it in. Like, having a seating area is definitely a thing, and I just got this seating area this year, but I have wanted one, and initially I was saying I just don't have space for it because I need to grow everything. I grow sitting right here in this chair, and I need it. I needed this space. So I'm so happy for Yida Homes, you know, reaching out and asking me if they could send me something, because love this. So what do I use inside of my house? Do I have like a cellar? Do I have any of that? I do not. I don't have any of that, right? But I have a laundry room. I have a laundry room that is closed off from the rest of the house. And so that is where I raise baby chicks. That is where I raise quail. That is where I cure vegetables. That's where I start seeds. That's where I store my canned goods. That's where I store all of my things that I use, you know, as far as like my tomato press, my pressure canner. All of that is down in my laundry room, and I am redoing that. I need to get some shelves because I want it to be more organized. There are videos that show my laundry room. I'll see if I can find one, and then I will link it, or maybe find a picture. But there are pictures that show my laundry room. It is not a huge laundry room. Other places inside my house that I use, of course, my countertops. I have a quail egg holder and a chicken egg holder. Got them both from Amazon. Pretty cool egg holders. I have one cabinet right now that I use for all of the things that I have preserved. Not for canning. The canning things go down in the laundry room, but like my herbs that I use for cooking and things like that, there's one shelf, well, cabinet that I use for that. And as far as drying herbs and things, I use a baker's rack. I just hang herbs off of a baker's rack. And so my point of making this video is people have lots of questions on how I do this, how I got started, you know, all of that stuff. So I am hopeful that this video was helpful. And of course, if you have questions, put it down in the comments below. I have not been doing well at answering questions or comments in general. All week, I posted 5 videos last week. I never got around to answering the questions or the comments, but I am going to. This weekend, we celebrated my sister's birthday, and so it was kind of a busy weekend, and I did say over on the community tab that I was going to answer questions. I did not get around to that, but I will. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in the garden just about every day. Bye, y'all.